Mike, for the viewers that don't know, I mean, you have a very good track record in terms of motivating teams, sportsmen, sort of push their boundaries. I just want to read out a couple of the sports teams you've been involved with. Of course, it was the Indian cricket team. You consulted with them in 2011. They went on to win the World Cup. Gary Kirsten then hauled you in with the Proteas. You guys did a bonding exercise in the Alps. After that, South Africa beat England quite convincingly, became the number one test side. Kolkata Knight Riders in this year's IPL went on an unprecedented winning streak and they won the tournament. And then the German football team, during their preparations for the World Cup, apparently they came away from a boating trip you did with them, a rejuvenated side. What is your secret? You're probably not going to divulge too much of it now, but how do you motivate people to just achieve these things?
I don't really believe in motivation as what I do. I think it's more about inspiring people, and if you can inspire people and people know that they inspire other people, I think that's when you really want to give your best and you don't want to disappoint your teammates. And it was like I told the Proteas when they came to Switzerland and we did a 4-day camp up in the Alps, I don't lose a match, I lose a life. So my commitment to what I do is a little bit different than just going out there to play. And if you can go and play like your life depends on it, and where you can create a team, and the team is not one superstar team, this is the 11 players if it's cricket, or the 15 in rugby, or the 8 guys that's going to be on the boat, where you give your best and everybody will be behind you and they will give their best. But if one guy slacks off, obviously the whole team falls apart. And I think it's more about just understanding what you can give that becomes very important. And there's a lot of BS out there today, and people talk their way through life, and you can't talk your way through life always. You're going to be caught out, and to know exactly what to expect from each other makes it an equal playing field. And once you on the equal playing field, you can't hide, and if you know what to expect, you can't be disappointed, and that usually influences a team, especially when there's high stress situations. When you really count on somebody and the person that you're counting on knows he cannot deliver because he said he would, but he knows he can't. And that honesty in life is very important, especially in high performance teams. And today, if you look at the Proteas and you looked at the German football team, the Mannschaft, and how they played, they created an amazing team. And this team environment has to be healthy. And I explained to the Germans as well, when I went to the North Pole, I had to go with somebody that I didn't really like, and he didn't really like me. We spoke 2 or 3 words a day. And I remember one day the polar bear was approaching the tent, and I was in my sleeping bag, and the polar bear got into my sled, and he was ripping the sled apart to get to my food. And he moved the sled towards the tent, and he actually sat on my stomach, the polar bear. And Borgi, the Norwegian guy that was going with me to the North Pole, or I was going with him to the North Pole, kind of was fast asleep. And I tried to wake him up, and I said, Borgi, wake up, there's a bear in my sled. And he looked at me like, kind of, why are you waking me up? And I said, wake up, there's a bear in my sled. And he said, why are you waking me up? The bear's in your sled, meaning that it's your problem, don't wake me up. And in that way, we kind of created a team that believed in the same goal, although we didn't necessarily like each other, but we knew what we could expect from each other. Today we're like brothers. It's normal because we reached the North Pole, and we're out of this alpha male competition element, but you must know what you can get from your fellow team members, and I think that's where a good team gets made. And in everything in life, you have to go through the highs and the lows, and a team that knows how to lose is a team that will want to win. And to create that will to win, where the will to win becomes much bigger than the fear to lose, is very important.
Like, it's interesting you say that, because a lot of your experiences have been solo missions, you know, solo circumnavigations, traversing the Amazon, all by yourself. So how do you apply that to a team dynamic?
You know, the fact that I've done a lot of alone, I got to know myself quite well. And then as well, when you can live with yourself, you can live with others, because there's certain things about yourself you don't like, and when you're disappointed in your own performance, and that is a mirror vision of somebody else with you. When I started climbing the 8,000 meter peaks without oxygen and with another team member, it was the first time that I really allowed somebody into this extreme environment where I always wanted to be alone and always wanted to take care of myself. And when I invited this young climber, Fred, and Fred Roux, that is certainly most probably one of Europe's best high altitude climbers, with me, I all of a sudden realized that, you know, I need him as much as he needs me. And when you need each other, I think that's when you really get to know each other. And you know the strength of the person and the weaknesses of the person. And if you know your own weakness, I think that's what makes climbing as a team and playing as a team. Doesn't matter with how many team members you are, that you are with at that moment. Very important is really to get to know the people that you're with.